Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys vet Ezekiel Elliott sends message to CeeDee Lamb on holdout. Ezekiel Elliott had some solid advice for Dallas Cowboys star CeeDee Lamb as he continues his holdout for a new contract. Lamb is not at training camp as he looks for a new deal. Elliott had a similar situation in 2019 and it resulted in him eventually landing a 6-year, $90 million contract extension. Elliott says he's been talking to Lamb and telling the All-Pro receiver to have thick skink. It's really tough because you go through your first 3 or 4 years and you guys are on the same side, and this is the first time that now you're kind of going against each other, Elliott said, per ESPN's Todd Archer. So, you've got to have a little thick skin. There's some little extra stuff that comes with it, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. Lamb finished last season with a league-high 135 receptions for 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns. Elliott doesn't believe Lamb missing time during training camp will affect his on-field production. The team understands that CeeDee needs to handle his business and CeeDee understands that he has the support of the team behind him, Elliott said. Just stay in shape, which it looks like he's doing, and be ready to go once the deal gets done. Lamb is looking to be paid like one of the top receivers in the league. That comes after an offseason where many of the premier pass catchers inked record-setting deals. Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson is currently the highest-paid non-quarterback, with an average annual salary of $35 million. Lamb's holdout could last weeks as they figure out a number to land on, per The Athletic's Diana Rossini via the Scoop City podcast. CeeDee Lamb is going to demand the money he thinks he's worth. So he's holding out. From having conversations, I don't see this getting ironed out over the next few days, Rossini said on July 26. I think this is something we're going to see leading into next week, maybe even the week after. This isn't one of those situations where I'm getting vibes, signs, positive attitude from both sides. It just seems like it's a challenge for the Dallas Cowboys to get there. Lamb has been working out in Houston amid his holdout, per Jane Slater of NFL Network. Slater also reported a message from Lamb about what he's looking for on his next contract. CeeDee Lamb on his contract, it just has to make sense, according to a source informed, Slater reported on July 25. I'm told he's 195 to 196 pounds. Bigger, faster, and more explosive than previous years. I'm told he had a 2-hour workout and continues to fine-tune the details of his game, Slater said. The Cowboys recently sent new contract offers to both quarterback Dak Prescott and Lamb. Right now, I would characterize both conversations as upbeat, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer Stephen Jones said on Saturday, July 27. We're having good talks back and forth with both agents, Todd, France, and Tory, Dandy. I like where we stand. Prescott is entering the final year of his contract. He's been open about his situation and the prospect of potentially having to play for another team if an extension doesn't get done. I want to be here, Prescott said on July 25. But you know, when you look up all the great quarterbacks I watched, they played for other teams after their first team. My point in saying that is, that's not something to fear. The Cowboys open up the season on September 8 against the Cleveland Browns. Cowboys DE Sam Williams suffers season-ending injury, Jerry Jones talks contracts. It was a big day at the Dallas Cowboys training camp. Jerry Jones gave his traditional sit-down interview with local journalists. There was big news on the field as well, with a key player going down. Love him or hate him, Jones has been the most impactful figure in DFW sports for more than 30 years. And at 81, he's showing no signs of slowing down. Jones said that the thought of retiring in any form or fashion never crossed his mind. He's more excited than he's ever been about an upcoming season. But many in his fan base aren't as excited. the Cowboys franchise has not gotten so far as a conference championship game in 28 years. Coming off last year's playoff disaster, Jones is now dealing with contract issues. Quarterback Dak Prescott is in the final year of his contract, and there has been no word on a new deal. The Dallas Cowboys are in Oxnard again for the start of training camp. Some familiar faces are back. But one star player is holding out for a new contract deal. And wide receiver CeeDee Lamb continues his holdout. But Jones said he's confident that Lamb will sign an extension. In the meantime, the Cowboys had their first significant injury of camp on Sunday. Edge rusher Sam Williams went down during a non-contact drill. According to reports, he has a torn ACL in his left knee, meaning he is done for the year. It's a terrible development for the promising young player. Williams was looking forward to getting even more of an opportunity to contribute in his third NFL season. Proposed Cowboys trade sees CeeDee Lamb unloaded for record-setting QB. If push comes to shove, the Dallas Cowboys could benefit from CeeDee Lamb's holdout by trading him. While there's been no indication that the Cowboys plan on trading Lamb, in fact, Dallas has submitted a new offer to Lamb. According to NFL Network's Jane Slater, a trade could become a possible option if the two sides can't agree to a new deal. In a proposed trade scenario from FanDuel, Dallas would unload Lamb to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks, 2025 and 2026, and Justin Fields. The proposed trade is obviously a blockbuster scenario. The 2 first-round picks is huge draft capital, but the idea of acquiring Fields, who has taken first-team reps with the Steelers' offense in training camp with Russell Wilson dinged up, as a potential replacement for Dak Prescott is what really makes this proposed trade noteworthy. Although the 25-year-old Fields is far from a polished product as a passer, his talent is undeniable. Fields holds the NFL record for most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single game, 178, and also ran for 1,143 yards during the 2022 season, the second most in NFL history. Furthermore, he did show slight improvement as a passer during his third season starting for the Chicago Bears compared to the 2022 season. Fields threw 16 touchdowns with just 9 interceptions, a career low and a dip from the 11 interceptions he threw during the 2022 season while throwing the ball 52 more times, with a career-high 61.4% completion rate, 86.3 passer rating and a 5-8 record. The most important reason for acquiring Fields is having an insurance policy due to Prescott's current contract situation. The veteran quarterback is entering the final year of his own deal and is looking for a long-term contract extension. However, both sides have yet to come to an agreement early on in training camp. Prescott has already left the door open on potentially leaving the Cowboys if the two sides can't come to an agreement. "I'm gonna say it," Prescott told reporters on Thursday, July 25. "I want to be here, but when you look up, all the great QBs I watched played for other teams. That's not something to fear. It may be a reality for me one day. It may not be my decision." While the Cowboys currently feature former first-round pick Trey Lance on its roster, his experience is extremely limited. He has started just 4 games in his career, and he didn't take a single snap last season. By comparison, Fields has started 38 games in his career and had been a full-time starter over the past 3 seasons prior to his acquisition by the Steelers. As mentioned before, the Cowboys have submitted an offer to Lamb early on in training camp, via NFL Network's Jane Slater. Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones tells me they sent CeeDee Lamb a new offer yesterday, writes Slater. "He tells me good convos right now with Lamb and his agent as they continue to try and come to an agreement on an extension. The idea of the Steelers unloading 2 first-round picks and a potential future starter of their own in Fields for Lamb is probably unlikely. However, if the Cowboys and Lamb are unable to come to an agreement, scouring the market for draft capital and a potential replacement for Prescott is something that they should consider." And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Justin Fields? Leave your opinion in the comments.